China builds a massive COVID-19 quarantine camp for 4,000 people as outbreak continues. CNN: China is running to build a massive quarantine camp that can house more than 4,000 people after an outbreak of COVID-19 this month that has left tens of millions of people under strict lockdown. The quarantine camp is located on the outskirts of Xizang, the provincial capital of Hebei province, which surrounds the country's capital, Beijing. China has largely contained the spread of the virus, with much of the country returning to normal. However, a sudden rise in cases has alarmed officials and raised concern ahead of the Lunar New Year, the country's most important annual festival, during which hundreds of millions of people are expected to travel to visit family members. Officials in Xizang, where the outbreak is centered, have initiated mass testing and strict lockdowns, moving entire villages into centralized quarantine facilities in a bid to curb the spread of the virus. The new quarantine camp will house close contact of confirmed COVID-19 patients as authorities continued an extensive contact tracing and testing program. It was originally planned to house 3,000 people, but has since been expanded to a capacity of 4,160. More than 4,000 construction workers have performed 6 days and nights work to complete the first phase, said Xizang Deputy Mayor Meng Shenhong on Tuesday. Authorities began construction on January 13, and the first section of the camp is now complete and ready for use, while construction continues on the second phase, according to state-owned broadcaster CCTV. Each prefabricated room is expected to measure 18 square meters, around 194 square feet, and will come with an ensuite bathroom and shower, desk, chairs, beds, Wi-Fi, and a television set, according to CCTV. Authorities are building a quarantine camp in Xizang, the center of Hebei's COVID-19 outbreak. The ambitious task is reminiscent of earlier efforts during the initial stage of the pandemic, during which authorities built several medical facilities from scratch, including a 1,000-bed hospital in just 10 days. On Tuesday, China reported 103 new confirmed cases and 58 asymptomatic infections, which are counted separately, spread out across the 4 provinces. Hebei province now has a total of 818 active locally transmitted cases and more than 200 asymptomatic infections, according to the Provincial Health Commission. Last Wednesday, a patient died in Hebei, the country's first COVID-19 related to death in 242 days. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in mainland China now stands at 88,557, while the official death toll is 4,635. In an effort to contain the outbreak, authorities placed Xinjiang under lockdown on January 8th, with all 11 million residents barred from leaving the city. More than 20,000 citizens from 12 villages in Xinjiang have since been relocated to other quarantine sites as a preventative measure. Chinese state media outlet CGTN reported last week. To date, more than 17 million people have been tested in Hebei, with authorities currently undertaking a second round of mass testing in Xinjiang and the cities of Xingtai and Langfang. Hubei authorities are now urging residents to stay at home, with officials sent to urban and rural areas to enforce the measures and assure people aren't traveling across the province and into Beijing. In response to the perceived threat, in response to the perceived threat, Beijing authorities have stepped up testing and screening efforts after cases were confirmed in the capital's outermost Daxing district, and announced on Wednesday they would close two nearly metro stations until further notice. In northeast Jilin province, 102 cases has been linked to a so-called super spreader, a salesman who traveled from his home province of Heilongjiang